Pulp MX Network production.
Bringing you a cheeky Brit and an American YouTube racing sensation weekly. It's the LVK More Than Moto podcast with your hosts, Leatt Phillips and Kellen Brauer.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Leatt LVK More Than Moto podcast. I am Kellen Brauer, joined by Leatt Phillips, and we are back. Apologies for the week away from you fine folks listening at home. Big Lou had a big week in Las Vegas last week between power outages and riding. We'll talk job swap today and many more things in between. And unfortunately for him, it made it quite difficult to schedule the LVK show. But that's okay, Big Lou. We heard a lot of you last week. So, yeah, we're back.
Yeah, I'm actually mad about this. You and Steve giving me shit for no LVK last week. When Blair was in studio, no BMP, and it was a regular week. I stay for the Pulp Show an extra day, which, dare I say, no other co-host would do. Fair?
Fair, yeah, probably fair.
And I even said that. I was like, you are so lucky it's my week, because I can't think of a single co-host that's like, yeah, I'll just stay.
Yeah, so I don't think I would have stayed.
No, exactly. And you're probably like next on the list, because obviously driving and whatever, you're relatively close. So I really feel like I should be getting an MVP award, but instead I've just had shit.
No, I mean,
yeah,
and
everyone heard me anyway.
I get it.
But there was no time. There was no time.
You got a big thing coming up in a couple weeks.
I thought you said you were going to say I've got a big head, because that seemed to be a topic of Pulp. I had war flashbacks.
I was not going to go there. I was going to say you got a big week coming up here in less than 2 weeks now. We're counting down. So I know that you're getting ready. We're prepping. It's still going, and we'll get to that at the end of the show. But we're back. Sorry again for missing you guys. Arlington has come and gone this past weekend, and we were finally both back at the races. Did you miss me at the races, or do you not care?
Well, please don't fake news me, because you said we were finally back. I've always been there. So you've just started you've dragged me into your...
Yeah. Saying is we as in us together at the races.
I would have liked slightly better wording there.
Sorry,
we were reunited at the races, maybe. Yeah, it was fine having you back.
Great. Fantastic.
Yep. No comment.
No comment. There's a lot to unpack from Arlington. Where does this actual race rank on the schedule for you? Like, we're in the mid-season grind now, but were you excited? Oh, we're going back to AT&T Stadium. It's great. It's big. There's lots of stuff to do around it. Or are you like, meh, just another regular mid-season race?
No, AT&T Stadium ranks up there for me. I was very excited because I had booked my favourite hotel chain for the first time in over a year. Shout out to the Aloft Hotel. Best, honestly, Kellen, I'm nestled into that bed. Best bed I've ever slept in. Unbelievable. So very big shout out to the Aloft chain. Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. That's good.
So we love the stadium. We love the Aloft, but it's fine at the end of the day.
It's fine. What do you want me to say? Like, yeah, we're in the mid-season grind. Supercross is great at the moment. It could be a lot worse. Just look at this time last year. We'd already lost Jet, Tomac, Hunter, and whatnot. And we're still in kind of Anaheim 1 mode as far as the entry list. Yeah, we've lost RJ. Yeah, we've lost Barsha. Who else have we lost? Big, factory-wise.
Well, obviously Jet.
Oh, Jorge.
Jorge, yep.
But yeah, I mean, Barsha will be back in a month. Jorge maybe this weekend. We're fine. We're rolling.
Benny,
we're A1 mode.
Oldenburg. Benny.
Yep.
No, it is great because, as you said, like, if you look at this point in time last year, we were definitely already down to just 2 championship contenders. And I feel like we need to somehow find a better way to cherish these types of championships, that we get this far in and it's still this close and competitive with so many different names at the front, because sometimes later in the season we get crazy 3-rider, 4-rider battles occasionally, but it's usually not with championship implications. But we're almost halfway through the season, and we're still having these 4 guys start up front, battle up front, try to win races. Like, we haven't had back-to-back winners since the first 2 rounds of the year. Like, even that in and of itself is, I think, awesome, because it just shows that the parity seems to keep rolling from week to week. There's not any sort of momentum being built.
Yeah, we are very much just in a holding pattern, although I believe it is starting to break a little bit, because I feel like we're edging towards Hunter v Eli v Coop for the title.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's still, that's still subjective. It's not like that's a given because of injuries or whatever else. It's subjective. So that makes it that's also good. Whereas last year, it wasn't subjective because you would say, yeah, we're down to Coop and Kenny and Chase. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously, dickhead. That's the only people left on the track.
Can I ask you this? It's not a topic necessarily, but I rate Roxon's ride this weekend as pretty good considering, because as he said, he just kept getting sicker and sicker all weekend long, just felt terrible by the end of the main event. Eli was coming off of being sick, so I also rate that ride as pretty good. But Kenny holding on for 15 minutes against all those guys and then finishing fourth, not too distant behind them, I feel like is getting a little bit of criticism that he didn't hold on for a podium, but also at the same time, he rode really well, I feel like, and should be kind of lauded for dealing with that all weekend.
Well, the optics aren't great, and realistically, none of us heard him talk publicly, so we don't know how sick he was.
Well, he talked to Swap on Friday, and he was gravelly, for sure. Like, you could tell it was coming.
Okay. I think it's just Kenny gets a bad rap anyway, and yes, if you look at it at surface level, for him to hold on as long as he did whilst being sick, incredible in the whoops, whatever else, yeah, it's all very positive. But I think also it's looked upon a little negatively just because we are in Kenny crunch time for the title, especially after Seattle. So I think his mulligans have been dropped a little bit for that reason. I think if Seattle had ended as it was kind of planned to, with him on the podium, then I think Arlington would have been looked at as a great salvage. Whereas I think Seattle forced a negative lens on Arlington, and it was like, well, yeah, good job, but you needed more than this, is kind of the headline.
Yeah, I agree. He has to crush these next couple weeks to even kind of hang on to it, because clearly the favorites are starting to establish themselves as the favorites, and if he wants to still be in that musical chair rotation by the time we get to round 13 or so, he's got to not lose any more points, I feel like, in this next 5-race span, basically. So, yeah, but I don't know. I looked at it and I'm like, damn, all things considered, he actually did ride pretty well. So let's get into our topics. Before we do, want to give a shout out to Leatt. Leatt Protection is in our brand DNA. It started 20 years ago with the groundbreaking Leatt neck brace and continues today with an extensive product offering of protective gear and riding apparel. But what Leatt really stands for is inspiring confidence and ensuring safety with every ride. Again, visit Leatt.com, folks. Check out all of their new gear lines for 2026 and beyond. And yeah, I like Justin Hill's kind of USA themed red and blue kit this weekend. Nichols obviously rocking the good Suzuki stuff as per usual, but
Look,
Leatt, jump aboard.
I don't know if I should say this.
All right.
I doubt you saying that Justin Hill was wearing red, white, and blue USA gear. I didn't know that until just now.
Okay.
Like, that's
Great,
news
fantastic.
to me.
Yeah. Well, he was
but
pretty
Nichols looked
invisible
good.
this weekend. Yeah, Nichols did look good. Yeah, Justin Hill, I actually didn't even realize this, but he started almost dead last in the main and then got to 12th, which, I mean, okay, great. Could have been better.
And actually, a testament to his fitness as well. He had some of his personal best sector times were later than anyone else in the field. Ultimately,
yeah.
what I'm saying is he was still kind of pushing his personal limit late in the main when everyone else had kind of dropped off, which I think is of note of some kind.
Yeah, I actually wrote about this yesterday where it seems like if you look at, as you mentioned, sector times, lap times and stuff, he used to be all flash, like a lot of, crazy qualifying times, good starts, run in the mix, and then finish in that mix because he could start there. And now I feel like he's a bit more of a diesel engine, if you want to call it that, where he's just kind of doing consistent laps for 20 minutes plus one, which is kind of interesting. Like, I feel like he's changed the mantra of what he's known as a little bit.
We're such a fucking weird sport. Actually, I've been told not to swear anymore. We're such a weird sport because, and actually, I have been doing a good job of swearing less.
Yeah.
So well done to me. We're such a weird sport because we do have invisible riders in the main event. And that doesn't happen in other sports. And I don't know why or how we can do better at that. But there is a chunk of the main event, like 50%, where it's just like, yeah, they turned up and they rode and they survived. Good job. Whereas in other sports, I feel like every single rider or driver's narrative is well played out. Not here. But also, I think it's because fans just don't care, to be honest. You see it in the numbers. You run a really good interview with a B-level rider, as far as like not elite tier, and it just gets like 900 views. And then you run a shit interview, swore again, with, a Coop, Kenny, Chase, Eli, Hunter, and it just soars through the clouds. So,
No, fair point. Okay,
very deep.
So deep indeed. The first topic I wanted to get into is really kind of like a combo Hunter and Pierce discussion, but I want it to be more on Hunter than anything because, look, if you look at Hunter's career in the USA from start to finish, you can, I feel like, pick out how he got to this level and maybe could have gotten to this level sooner. But I just keep going back to the fact that at one point in time, and he said this after he won his 250 Supercross title, like Hunter legitimately said the words, "I am done. Like, I am going to retire. This is it." Because he popped his shoulder out again at Loretta's, and it was another surgery that was going to have to happen, and just the injuries were piling up. And you covered a lot of some of the things that he dealt with in GPs as well, so you kind of know that backstory as well. But to me, I feel like this is such a cool story just about Hunter Lawrence because we don't get to talk enough about how he's built himself to this level. Like, we talk about what Jet has done and his accomplishments and everything like that, but I feel like with Hunter, it gets kind of pushed to the side a little bit. And you don't get to actually break down the fact that what he did to get to Europe in the first place is incredible. And then taking the gamble to leave Europe when he was on the rise towards an MX2 title and then come over to the USA, go through the gamut of injuries to the point where he was almost ready to walk away, and then start over, win a Supercross, start winning outdoors, win a Supercross title, win an outdoor title, move up to 450s, and now he's a race winner in all three disciplines in 450 SMX competition and the red plate holder in the 450 championship. Like, I feel like we need to give Hunter more kudos for what he's accomplished, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. I wholeheartedly agree. And this is kind of a tangent, and I ended the Vital review pod with this note, but it has genuinely been on my mind. Hunter, as you said, was at rock bottom. At that moment, a 250 Supercross win seemed a million miles away, let alone a 450 Supercross win. No one would have bet on it, whatever else. So the fact that Hunter has dug himself out of that hole better than ever, arguably exceeded what most considered to be his ceiling, even pre-injuries. Is this not a lesson that we shouldn't give up on guys, and maybe we don't toss Faulkner to the curb so quickly, or whoever else? Like, maybe this is a nice little reminder for teams and industry that there is, hope out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you make a good point about not throwing guys to the side. I think, unfortunately, Faulkner is maybe a tough example of that because he did get a lot of opportunities and keeps getting opportunities and keeps getting hurt, which is also a tough pill to swallow for him because of how much talent he possesses. But I think you could make a case, like on the flip side, of guys like, let's say, Casey Cochran, right? He's been getting thrown through the ringer lately, I feel like, in social media as the guy that just keeps getting hurt. But then he'll come back and show flashes of speed and runs up front here and there, but then gets hurt again. And people are like, why does he keep getting opportunities and XYZ rider doesn't? And so I feel like maybe him or a Dax Bennick or guys like that are more of a case study of what we're talking about with Hunter here, of like, well, obviously the talent's there, and the talent was always there with Hunter. There's no question about that. It was about whether or not he'd be able to get past the issues he was having with crashing too much and getting hurt. And I think that that's true of these same guys that keep getting factory deals. They possess that ability at some point that the ceiling is here, and Hunter's proving it. But they have to get through those little nagging steps along the way to get to be a consistent rider. And that's why I wanted to bring Pierce into this discussion a little bit as well. Because Pierce similarly also got hurt a lot when he turned pro, missed a lot of time. And remember, that whole year on Gas in 24, he was just getting fifths and sevenths and all this. And we were just saying, like, that's fine. Like, just make it through a season healthy. And then by the end of it, he won a race. And so that's where I want to give credit to Pierce and Hunter, obviously, because they, I feel like, found the right recipe to get here when a lot of guys have not been able to figure that out. And maybe that's a case study we should look into more.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I mean, human nature is just to kind of give up on people, isn't it? And I think that's the headline here. Pierce is a good example. I mean, even more so perhaps because he is in, year 6 of being a pro, and there hasn't been much as far as delivering on potential. His last Supercross podium was 2022. So he was arguably in the decline. And if not for Star Racing's bizarre approach of just hiring anyone, who knows what opportunity Pierce gets post TLD Gas, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe he does start to slip off the merry-go-round. And Star Racing, who just kind of sling contracts into the wild and see who picks them up, that's given him a lifeline, but one that's also served as a reminder of what he is capable of. And this could have very easily not happened. So, and you know, you could say the same with a lot of guys. Even Max Anstey just randomly came to mind. So I don't know.
Well, do you think that this truly is just the random luck of the draw finding these steps along the way through trial and error? Or do you think that there's characteristic traits that you could pull out of Hunter and Pierce that are similar, that if you look at some of these riders that are going through all these struggles, maybe that's where you can find some of that? No, you think they're too different?
Too different. What traits would they have, you know? There isn't one. Hunter's also been maybe a little bit lucky to, not now, of course, but post-injury, a little bit lucky to have the full support of Honda. And you know what? It'd actually be interesting now to interview Lars or Brandon Wilson. And I don't know how much they would say, but it would be interesting to interview them and say, like, how unsure of Hunter were you in that period? Like, when it came time to take Hunter over Joe in a moment, I believe that was, after Geico disbanded.
Yes. Yeah.
How much of that was influenced by Jet? And how much did you truly believe in Hunter? Now, they're obviously going to give the PC answer, of course. So I don't think it's worth pursuing. But it would be curious to know. Because I would bet that deep down, they almost felt like this was far-fetched in itself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, look, if you go back and see Hunter's first ever race win, which was Arlington 2 of 21, the elation that he had, that the team had, and everything like that, I think that almost maybe answers like your question of how much of a gamble it was, because I think even Hunter probably realizes, man, I'm getting another shot when maybe I don't deserve it or I shouldn't get it or something like that. And then the team was also like, well, we hope this works. You know, we're going to keep supporting the brother because the brother's the obvious next step. But
so maybe
hopefully this pans out, you know?
So maybe that is the trait across Hunter and Pierce. They were both so down at rock bottom that they maybe view everything thereafter as a second chance and a second opportunity.
Yeah, and like not wanting to spoil it, like wanting to do like whatever it is to get it done. Yeah,
but then again, you can't really find that out because then you ask anyone that, and they're going to say yeah because it makes them sound quite good. So I don't know, I don't know what you'd really get there. But yeah,
which one specifically Arlington? Which one do you think was more of a?
Oh, don't say surprise.
Not a surprise, like an accomplishment, like a end of the road, if you want to call it that, of the story that they finally got to winning a 250 or 450 main kind of thing.
I think Hunter, I want to say Pierce because Hunter had already made it to the pinnacle of 450s and like really, as Hunter even put it, winning a 450 main was almost like checking a box because even if he never did, pre-Arlington, we already knew how good he was and that he was capable, and had he never won, we all would have said, well, he should have because he was good enough, so who cares? Pierce feels like more of an accomplishment because I think this could quite easily have never happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think you can also kind of make the case that it could have never happened for Hunter too. But I agree with you. Pierce,
I'm saying as of Friday in Arlington, like at that point, we know how good Hunter is and that's going to happen. Whereas Friday in Arlington, we're still unsure of Pierce.
Well, then I feel like that goes back to your don't ask me about a surprise. I think Pierce is the obvious surprise.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Between the two of them. Yeah, so no, but I mean it's great. Like that's what I'm saying is yes, there's so much drama with the red light thing and all this stuff like that. But the real, I think, story that you should take from Arlington at the end of the day is that these are two. It's the first time, I think Mitch Kendra posted this. It's the first time since 23 or 22 that two first-time winners won on the same night.
22 San Diego.
Classes. Yep, which was Sexton and Mosman that night.
That's why I remember.
That's why I knew you would remember. And that's cool. Like, it's something that we don't see very often. I would be actually surprised to know when the last time that happened before this. Probably isn't that far back, I guess, but we don't get new 450 winners that often either. So even that is pretty cool.
Oh, well, you've just played right into my hands there because I actually have that stat.
What do we got?
In the 2020s, we have 6 new 450 winners. Do you want to have a stab at naming them?
All right. Well, Jet and Hunter,
obviously.
Chase.
Yep.
Malcolm.
Yep. 2 more. Play along at home if you are listening. Play along. Scream at your radio.
I mean, I'm probably missing some
you're missing
obvious
2
ones. I know, but I'm missing really obvious ones, I feel like. Oh, Zach.
Yep.
Osborne.
One more, and to be honest, this is the one that really shouldn't be surprising, but it was also the one that I looked at and went, oh yeah, of course that would count in this category.
Surprising, but it counts in this category.
Well, it's not surprising, but it was the one
AP.
Yeah.
AP. Yep. Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
Not to go all Dora the Explorer, but did you get that at home?
All right. Well, that ends our first topic again. Well done, Hunter and Pierce, on the big wins here at Arlington.
I now feel a sudden urge to do an entire moto podcast like Dora the Explorer.
Who's Swiper in this situation? Swiper
I don't know what that is. Can you name all of these riders?
Are you serious?
And then just dead silence.
How do you know Dora the Explorer and you don't know the plot
Well, I just know
lines
that the general trope, you know. I saw a TikTok of something the other day, so that's why it's on my mind.
Okay. All right, well, let me tell you guys about Partzilla. Partzilla.com is the premier OEM parts dealer and distributor. They sell OEM parts for Honda, Kawasaki, Polaris, Can-Am, Suzuki, Arctic Cat, Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo, and Yamaha motorcycles, ATVs, PWCs, and snowmobiles. Visit Partzilla.com to see their extensive line of parts and accessories. The Rocket Partzilla PRMX race team brought in Luke Clout this weekend, and he goes right into the main event, although it was a little questionable in the heat race.
Let me tell you, deep PRMX journalism over the weekend, and I have to say, with all the conversations I had surrounding PRMX, I would argue that they were my biggest takeaways of the weekend, and I truly believe in the program and where it's heading now, because they have made some significant investments that I don't think they would be otherwise if they were just happy with their current standing in the paddock.
I agree. Do we want to say any of these things, or should we hide it until later?
Well, one of them's quite public. I just didn't know about it until I saw it's National Tortilla Chip Day at Chipotle. If anyone wants a free bag of tortilla chips, you just go down there and ask. I've just had a notification. But anyway, you know Rene, who the Lawrences brought over to be their practice mechanic, worked for CLS. He is full-time at PRMX now as their engine guy. Who knew? Did you know that?
Well, now I did this weekend because I found that out. But yeah,
I was genuine when he walked up to me in a PRMX hoodie. I was baffled, and not a lot of people are going to know who Rene is, but Rene is seriously held in high regard. So he was CLS Kawasaki, which was the factory Kawasaki team in Europe. Then went to Wilvo Yamaha. Then where did he go after that? I think he stayed at Wilvo Yamaha through them being a factory team. Then went to the Lawrences. The Lawrences actually hand-picked him and brought him over in response to their MX2 days with Kawasaki. And then now he's PRMX. So you look at the resume and the teams that PRMX has joined on that list, and I think that speaks volumes about at least what they're trying to do.
No, 100%. You're right that I feel like every time I go over there, I learn more about what they're trying and the new things that they're looking at doing and so on and so forth. And I mean, kudos to them. I don't know if this is turning into a bit of a turf war between them or not, but I wonder if there's a little bit of we want Cowie support and we have to prove that we're better than MX6 before MX6 starts taking over that a little bit.
Do you think MX6 is in that running?
They hired pretty good riders year one, to be fair.
Would you say their riders are better than PRMX? I don't know if I would.
Well, not Harrison is better than all of them.
Yeah.
Right? I'm talking 250 specifically.
Yeah, I'd say Clout and Bourdon are better than Welton and Kelly.
Kelly beat him this weekend.
Yeah, but come on. Ceiling-wise, we all know Clout has a higher ceiling than Kelly.
I'm just saying. I feel like there's a bit of a race going on to try to get a little bit more support from Cowie, and I wonder if there's like PRMX is like, hey, look, we have an established race team. We have all these people. We have this personnel, and I know that they're maybe also not tied down to Cowie as well. So
can I have a rant?
Yeah, hit me.
Speaking of Cowie, so ever since I came here, with my English accent, I guess I say Kawasaki, and it's too much of a Z sound, and obviously the Americans very angry at this, and it's been in my YouTube comments forever. So post Seattle, I thought, you know what? Fuck this. And there we go, I swore again. I'm going to take this, I'm going to fix this. So ever since I've adopted the Kellen way of Kawasaki. Put an S in there, correct? Is that right?
I mean,
Kawasaki.
I don't think the way that you were saying Kawasaki.
Well, the YouTube comments were mad. Anyway, so I changed.
Okay.
Pulp,
all right, great.
Vital Pods, now LVK. Not one effing comment from any of those effing haters. And I'm just like, well, if this was such a bloody problem, where are you now?
I don't feel like you used to swear as much as you've been kind of having to censor yourself today. You're making it seem like it's a bigger problem.
I'm getting more relaxed. I'm not really in a very professional mood today, to be honest, Kellen.
Oh, I like it, though. It's loose.
I'm feeling a little bit like Aggie.
Aggie?
Yeah.
Agitated? Is that what that's short for?
Somewhat.
Okay. I don't know that I've heard
irritable
Aggie before. Well, that's agitated. Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's in that family.
Okay, great. But yeah, again, thanks to Partzilla for backing the show. Obviously, like we said, Luke Clout gets 16th this weekend. Good for him. Also, did you notice Mitchell Harrison might have the weirdest results this year, in my opinion? 4 straight 20th place finishes to start the year, and then he's gone 19, 17, 16 in the last 3 races.
Yeah, he never goes backwards. Only forwards.
Yeah. Very, very random. Okay. Here we go. We're going to talk the AMA thing. We're not going to get into this too deep. What?
Disclaimer, because I think I can imagine the eye rolls around the world. So, Kellen has stuff to say, and Kellen hasn't done a podcast yet. So, Kellen, we're going to give Kellen his floor. I will sum up my feelings in 60 seconds. We aren't deep diving this because there's way too much of it out there. So if you're like, F this, there's too much of this, I'm bored of hearing about this, this is going to be short.
Skip ahead 7 minutes or so if you don't want to.
It's not going to be 7 minutes. You're going to say your bit.
Whatever it is.
I'm going to give you my headline.
A little bit.
There we go.
Point being, I will start this by saying I listened to Pope last night, and I just straight up disagree with Steve's take on this. Yeah, more so, I disagree with his 250 take. His 451 is whatever. But the situation in Dallas, red lights out on the double before the finish line jump, red crossed out on the finish line jump in the 450 main. It was vice versa. Red lights on in 250 main, no red cross. No red lights on in 450 main, red cross out. Somehow that equals no penalties because AMA has gone around and told these people, allegedly, either in the Feld Media days or in the meetings. What are they called? Safety meetings or whatever they're called. Rider meetings, thank you. That those are just warning lights for something ahead. They're called lead-in lights is what they're calling them. But I just disagree with this whole thing across the board because in nowhere in the rule book does it explain lead-in lights or talk about lead-in lights. There's no competition bulletin out there that says what lead-in lights are, what you're supposed to do with them, or anything like that. And for the past 12 years, they've had these red flashing lights at Supercross races and at outdoor races. And anytime they're flashing, it is wheels on the ground. Ken Roxon got a win taken away from him at Thunder Valley a couple years ago for the same thing. He doubled down a small downhill double at Thunder Valley because he jumped on red flashing lights, and it was off the track way over to the side. No one could even see it, but he still got penalized for it. So there's a history behind this now, these red flashing lights, meaning wheels on the ground or you will be penalized. And apparently Joe didn't know that. Apparently Honda hasn't been told this. And a lot of riders are also coming out and saying they haven't been told this. And why I disagree with this so much is because when you have something as dramatic of a change as you can jump again on red lights if they are called lead-in lights, you have to write this thing down somewhere. It has to be in the rule book. It has to be a competition bulletin. You can't just word of mouth this thing. This is a professional sport. You can't just go around and hope everyone gets the memo without actually writing it down somewhere. So the fact that the AMA has just decided that these are the rules now, forget our rule book. These are the rules now, because they are just ignoring their rule book. The rule book says if there's those red flashing lights, wheels on the ground, which is what Joe did. Joe did the right thing, rolled that, didn't have enough speed to do the finish line jump, so Brown passed him. Should have been Brown getting docked, but he doesn't get docked. And then the same thing, the red cross flag out. I mean, that one's more egregious to me. And those three guys jumping, Tomac, Webb, and Roxon, those should be penalties as well. So what I just don't even kind of agree with on any of this is that they have it black and white in the rule book, and they just chose to ignore that and say, no, we have word of mouth this around the pits, and this is the rule going forward. So now it's going to be amended. There will be a competition bulletin that comes out, but the fact that the AMA has done so good at following their own rule book for the past 5 years to just throw it and into the fire right now, throw it, set it on fire, throw it in the trash, is ridiculous to me. And if I'm Honda, I think that you have every right to be pissed off about this, because they have also just swallowed the rules. And when the red flag is out or the red cross is out or whatever, they have been penalized. Jet got penalized at St. Louis a few years back for the same thing, red cross. There was no warning lights or whatever. I don't know. To me, this whole situation reeks of a failure top to bottom from the AMA to do this the correct way, to explain this, to put out competition bulletins, to put it in their rule book, and instead it's screwed over Honda on both fronts in the main event. So that's my take on this.
I mostly agree, or 100% agree. It's just, I mean, maybe I'm not paying enough attention, and maybe it's just because I'm not racing, so I don't need to. But I felt like across the board, the one thing that you can kind of rely on is if there's a red light, you don't jump. I felt like that was fairly concrete, easy to understand, and now it's just getting far too complex. You can't have all of these ins and outs whilst you're racing. It's a miracle that they can pay attention to lights and flags anyway, let alone all of these now subsets to the rules, and like, oh, there's a red light out, but oh, the mystical magician on the side of the track is holding a rabbit instead of a gold coin, and the rabbit means that we can jump on this occasion, because like that's kind of where we're getting to now, where it's that deep and layered, and it's near impossible. It's like the world's most difficult board game to understand. And the biggest takeaway I have from this is I don't know what it means moving forward, because I don't know how the riders are ever going to understand or make sense of this. And I think every time now someone jumps on a red cross flag or a red light, they're not really going to be certain if they did the right thing or not. And that's going to encourage people to break the rules more, because it now feels like there's a way out. And yeah, I don't know. It's just too... They've opened a can of worms now. Mm-hmm. And because the 451, as you said, is much more egregious because the red cross flag is out. And I thought, again, that was very straightforward, that the red cross flag is out, you don't jump. And now that riders have, the next time, if I put myself in that position, the next time that I see a red cross flag, I'm kind of second-guessing myself, whereas I never would have before, because I would have been very clear on the rules. So I almost feel like the only way to fix this and move forward positively is to almost scrap every rule, every flag, every light, and start again. Because I think now any of the current... Obviously, they're not going to do that, but I think any of the current set of flags and lights are now shrouded in confusion. So
I mean, yeah, I don't want to go too far on this, but I 100% agree with you on scrap it and start over, because this has been a decade of the red cross flag being an issue, and now they're trying to find some weird nuanced rules to fix it where there's lead-in lights, and if the lead-in light isn't on, then you can jump on red cross, and it makes the whole thing from a safety standpoint ridiculous, because if there is somebody on the track, medics, riders, whatever, and these guys don't have a lead-in light, but they do have a red cross, they can jump, who knows? Somebody's going to end up getting really hurt from this, and that's a disaster from a safety standpoint. But my whole point, as you said, with scrap it and start over is, hey, man, we got a lot of great technology out there now to make this somewhat seamless. You could do in-helmet comms. You could do something on the handlebars. You could do much more lights that are flashing on tough blocks or whatever all throughout the section. And they just are refusing to do that, and they're just trying to keep putting Band-Aids on this stupid rule that shouldn't have even been a problem to begin with. They should have put safety first and made this very black and white, and they keep adding gray areas to it, and that's ridiculous in my opinion.
Yeah, I think even if you quiz Eli and Kenny, Eli, I guess, was Eli... Yeah, Eli was the lead rider in that 450 incident.
Yeah.
I think if you said to him, the reason you jumped on the red cross flag is because you didn't see red lights on the double before, and you know that no red lights isn't giving you enough time. I don't think he would go, yeah, that was it. I think he'd go, what? No. You know, like... I was going
to say, he would say, yeah, that was it, because he just doesn't want to get in trouble.
But I don't think the defendant I don't think the defendant even believes his lawyer in this case. You know, like,
yeah.
I think if a defendant is even is on the stand looking at his lawyer going, what are you saying? Yeah, okay, well, I guess. Like, I don't even know what that means. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where this goes from here, and it sucks in a way, or it sucks all round, because the AMA was going in a very nice direction as far as transparency and avoiding issues, and it has been good. And this is the complete opposite.
100%. And the last thing we want to, I'll say on this is, kudos to Honda for being very forward, I guess is what you'd call it, that they're fighting this to some degree. I don't know what they can do. I mean, people are saying lawsuits and all this stuff. I doubt that happens, but clearly they're still really mad, and this is going to carry into Daytona in some facet. I don't know what they do. What do they do? Like, there's nothing that they can do to say, well, they didn't get penalties, so you should penalize them. Like, it's almost as if they got penalized, you could get it taken away. I don't know, but I guess good for them to be mad and want to fight it. Yeah,
I even liked the post-race press thing where, like, Lars went up there as a 450 winning team manager, and Haley, like, listed Hunter's result and Joe's result, and Lars said, oh, I don't know if you're aware, but we actually won both classes tonight. I like that sort of brazen attitude, and you know that is akin to a real sport. So I like that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Okay, again, I didn't want to spend too much time on this, but we did need to kind of speak our piece on this, especially now that, like, there's information out there, because, like, you did your Vital show and we didn't have the AMA's response yet, and I know Steve did Pulp with the AMA's response, but I think a lot of people didn't get the full story, and now we have, I don't know, I guess it's incomplete till Honda fights back, but much of the full story from what ended up happening. So either way, interesting stuff. Let me tell you guys about Alpinestars and the Tech Air MX, which unfortunately Jordan Smith tested out quite a bit this weekend. I mean, good Lord. I'm glad Jordan's okay, but he was the hunchback of Notre Dame for a lot of the weekend. With how many times he hit the deck. So
yeah, and I guess he it turns out that he was the reason for the red cross flag in the 450 class.
Yeah. Did you see where he was? You remember that?
I thought he was in the turn.
No, he did. So you know how Malcolm went, I mean, over the bars hard on the on-off?
Yeah.
Jordan said he did the same thing, but he caught an edge and it kind of popped him into a wheelie. So he landed off the on-off and just like slid up the face of the finish line because he was so sideways.
Right.
So he was like sideways on the base of the landing of the finish line, had to go over and pick his bike up. He was only there for like 5 seconds. Like, he wasn't there very long. But that is the reason that the red cross flag was out, which, by the way, some people have conflicting reports on this. Hunter Lawrence did roll the finish line jump. So he saw the flag and rolled it in the race lead. People somehow are getting this misconstrued, but he absolutely did see it and roll, which is why Lars and Honda are mad because, once again, like Joe, their rider followed the rule and the 3 guys behind them didn't. He still won the race. I get it, but I can understand Lars being like, well, where's their 5-point penalty? Anyway, let's move on and get to our next topic. Again, the Tech Air MX uses a sophisticated activation algorithm designed specifically for ruts, berms, jumps, and whoops, deploying instantly when it matters most. It's a fully autonomous airbag built into a compact chest protector, offering CE Level 1 protection on the chest and back, and when deployed, 4 times the back protection of passive armor alone. Again, visit alpinestarsmx.com or alpinestars.com, the motocross sector, and check out the Tech Air MX today, seemingly becoming a bit more of a commonplace among the pro paddock.
Do you want to know what I love from Alpinestars?
What do you got?
I'm in love with the Bionic Pro Plasma knee protectors. Oh, never used a product like it. They chose it for me based on, what they feel like I would want. It was amazing. It's not a knee brace. I would argue it's a little more in depth than a knee pad, a simple knee pad, somewhere in the middle. Never been in love with a product like it. Been around for years, as far as I've been told. But a Bionic Pro Plasma knee protectors, I recommend to everyone. My brother's in town for the first time in a year, and first thing I got him to do yesterday is I got them out of my gear bag and said, try these on. They're really good. So I'm really spreading the word of the Bionic Pro Plasma knee protectors.
Your brother's staying in a hotel, right?
He's here with friends, so...
Oh, okay.
I'm somewhat.
I just wanted to make sure we're not making him pay rent.
No, he's here with friends, so I'm not. He's not really with me. I just see him in passing.
Okay.
But
my next topic.
He did say to me yesterday. I was in a restaurant with him last night. He said to a waitress, "Excuse me," and the woman ignored him. And he turned to me and went, "Do they use 'excuse me' here?" And that may be the dumbest thing that I've ever heard anyone say in the history of the world ever.
Oh, man.
And I said to him that I would bring that up on LVK because there's a little bit of a non-moto for you. But I genuinely could not believe my ears. Yeah.
Maybe the accent, she thought.
No, he's just a little bit thick. He's not the brightest colour in the pack, bless him. Not the sharpest tool in the box.
Great, fantastic.
A few puzzle pieces short of the set.
Okay, this could be our last topic because it's going to lead into something else after it, but let's talk Chase just a little bit. I know you've probably already ran through the gamut with talking about him this week. To me, championship over. We are now in test mode for 27 for Supercross, and or let's get ready for outdoors because he's too far down. But you seemingly seem to find some information out about like things that are trending in a positive direction with things that they're testing and so on and so forth. Marchbank starts were massively better this week, so I feel like they're making progress with the bike, but still Chase doesn't look like himself. It's probably hurting your heart so much every single week. But any positivity on the Sexton front, Big Lou?
Every day I just try to put one foot in front of the other and just muddle through, it's all I can do in these testing times. The season doesn't start until Daytona. We know that.
Yeah, he made sure you knew that too.
It's possible that we've leaned into that a little bit too much through the first 7 rounds of 2026. However, it is on record. It's maybe the number one, what would you say? Number one, throwaway comment? What would be the word for that? Number one slogan in SMX?
Yeah, slogan, sure.
Yeah, the season starts in Daytona. If you've heard it once, you've heard it 1,000 times. So we look forward to round one.
Or trust the process.
We look forward to round one this weekend. And it's fine. It's good. I did just randomly have a brainwave while you were talking. And I don't know why this didn't register with me before. 4 races without a podium, right? In a row now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Only happened once in his 450 career, and it was in his rookie season pre his first podium. So since he got on the podium for the very first time in his 450 career, he has not missed the podium in 4 consecutive races.
Okay. Can I pick your brain on this? Because I've also heard this discourse a little bit, is that he struggled in his first year with KTM
No, I
But I
disagreed
feel
with
like this is so different.
Yeah, no, I completely disagreed with this. And I actually had this conversation with someone. The optics of the first year with KTM were really bad because we all heard the going around the whoops thing and like there was a lot of that. But I mean, I've got it here. Okay, 7 rounds. Okay, so he started with 2 podiums, a third and a first, and then had the red plate. Then he had an 8th and a 5th, which admittedly went downhill a little bit. Then a second. So already that's 3 podiums in 5 rounds, which I think is fine. Like that's whatever. It's not amazing, but that's perfectly acceptable. And then remember, round 6, Glendale, he broke something in his hand, or remember the hand injury?
Yeah.
So that was then a catalyst for 2 races with no podium, but then he was back on the podium 2 races later. Like, if you look at the result sheet and include a hand injury, I mean, even take away the hand injury, this year is still worse. The same number of wins and 2 less podiums. I think I actually would go the opposite way and say the first year with KTM, despite everything, was actually fairly positive. I mean, pre-Nashville and the throttle stick, he was like a championship contender. I want to say he was 11 points down. And now, of course, there's easily scope for him to get to that position again. The season doesn't start until Daytona. But like, I think that, yes, the talk was very, very negative, but I actually don't think the first year with KTM was the worst thing in the world. Was it the best chase? No. Was it better year 2? Yes. But it wasn't diabolical.
Yeah, I don't think it was bad either. And this is why I wanted to ask you about this, because it seems, and we haven't really talked to him one-on-one. I know you probably have a little bit more than all of us, but it seems like the mood isn't terrible. Whereas, like, I feel like the mood, even when he was going through some struggles at KTM, was like literally, I don't know, jump off a bridge is too aggressive, but just not great. Like, he was in a bad mood. Things were not going well. A lot of arguing and all this stuff like that. But I feel like this year, through the struggles, he's been more even keel, which is a new version of Chase. Is it? I don't know if it's a bad version of Chase, though, because
he told me Anaheim 1 press day, the positivity was his word of the year. So I think it's just maturing a little bit.
But like, when you look at him, because you obviously know more about him and all this stuff like that.
Close personal friend of mine.
This is fixable, no question about it. He can get back to a winning level tomorrow, probably. But is this approach of being positive and trying to find every little step along the way to get back there, is it going to work? Because in the past, when he would just get mad and throw stuff at the wall, he would go out and win by 15 seconds out of nowhere. So is that better, or is this better? Like, because
I think, again, I've said this, but I think the KTM situation was more hit and miss. And I think that is naturally more frustrating. I think it's naturally more frustrating because it was hit or miss, and like 1 week, like the bike works incredibly well, and then the next week he wasn't happy, and then the next week it was great again, and like I think it was hard to understand the reasons why, and then the shock issues were very intermittent as well. And like first 10 laps of a main amazing, and then it just goes, and it's like, well, what? This was amazing. So I think it was harder to make peace with, whereas this is more like, hey, we're just working in a direction. This is much more normal, if you want to call it that. There's less reasons to be confused. It's much more just like, hey, we're working.
You obviously have some insight because you went to Cowie HQ, you talked to Sternstrom, and I believe you have a podcast coming out this week that's also going to lend more insight into what's going on behind the scenes. Oh, well, there you go. So check out the Brock Tickle interview on Vital MX.
Yeah, please do. Please do. It's good. It's really good.
In your opinion, what you've learned from Bruce, what you learned from going to Cowie, what you learned from Brock, what is the step that they're working on to get him there? Like, what is still missing for him? That there was winning speed at A2 4 weeks ago. Now we're here. It's maybe trending in the right direction because he's stabilized. Like, he's not still going down.
Oh, I don't know if that's a reach.
Really?
Try and tell Chase that this is going in a good direction because he's stabilized in 5 to 7 range, and I think he'd punch you in the face.
That's what I'm saying. But I feel like Seattle was horrible. this was better.
Yeah, this was
right?
better, but not.
Like,
I think there was reason to be optimistic after the testing in the week. And I think there were hopes that this would be considerably better, and it was marginally better. Now, of course, it's all a bit impossible to judge because the start was just diabolical again. So, like, what would have happened with a good start, we don't know. But certainly, I think, not from Chase, but I think the optimism from the team after the week wasn't founded in the end in the result. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just almost, I think it's just a waiting game at the moment. I don't think there's going to be an update every week on, like, how is it now? I think it's just like, hey, it's going to take some time. We'll see you when we see you.
Well, the reason why I feel like Arlington went I'm not going to say good, it went average, is because he passed more than anybody else in the race. He started 19th and finished 6th.
That's what happens when you have a shit start.
But it took him until lap 9 to get into 6th place. And you and I both know, as well as anybody watching that race, especially if you look at the 250 class, that it was really hard to gain time on that track, especially the 450 guys, because there wasn't much separation in the whoops between them. So I feel like if Chase starts there, which is obviously the biggest problem right now, the speed wasn't terrible, whereas in Seattle it really was.
No, the speed wasn't terrible. The speed wasn't terrible.
So that's what I mean. Like,
but equally, I think
he can just figure out how to get off the gate. So
I think you making a big deal about coming up from 19th, like, yes, Chase Sexton on a unicycle can make time on the 9 to 12 place riders.
Well, but I'm saying the narrative, I feel like, from review pods and social media comments and stuff like that this week is what happened to the guy that could hit the gate at San Diego and get 4th. And I'm saying, yes, that guy is not there at the moment, but he started 19th and finished 6th this week. So it's not like he started 12th and finished 11th. He's still going forward at a considerably good rate. It's just taking too long because he's starting back there, and then once he gets into a position, the speed is fine. He was getting worked by Jay Coop. I still think that's maybe the biggest problem, is Jay Coop was just pulling away from him after he got into 6th. But I'm just trying to find positives, man, because right now it's a disaster, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That was I feel like if I just gave that little speech that you did, I would be absolutely destroyed in the comments.
You would, but I'm trying to take the brunt for you, okay?
Yeah, sure. But, like, we all know how good Chase is. And I stand by this. Like, we all know how good Chase is, and I don't think that's up for debate. So, Chase, on his very, very worst night, should be 3rd or 4th. On his worst night, sick and struggling. So, there's clearly work to do. I believe in miracles, and the only way is up. Ain't no mountain high enough. Don't stop believing.
All the cliches
And other song lyrics.
Etc.
I don't know, like, there's problems with turning, there's problems with starts, we've got problems. But so does everyone. So... Yeah. But no, please listen to the Brock Tickle interview, because I was fairly buoyant after it. And although I sent it to 2 people for a pre-listen, and one told me it was underwhelming, the other person told me it was one of the best podcasts I've ever done. So hopefully you're on the positive side of that coin rather than the other side. But I certainly, as a mechanical idiot, I certainly learned a lot about testing triple clamps to make the fork feel better, and what, like, the different triple clamps can do, and the BFRC shock on the Cowie, and the Cowie's fundamental issue with turning, and the 2027 Cowie 450, and all of this. I feel like I took a lot away from it, so I hope you do too, and I would recommend it. It's only a 30-minute listen, so it's not too taxing. But yeah, look, Brock admitted it, MXGP guys have admitted it, everyone's admitted it. The current gen Cowie 450 has a fundamental issue with turning. It's either oversteer or understeer, and it's hard to get in the window in between. Shout out Jeremy Sewer, who was a visionary in 2024 when he kept texting me saying he can't turn his bike. So I guess... And also, I have got stopped in the pits about... I got stopped in the pits by a team member about this, and I want to clarify, because I don't think I do this, but if it's out there, obviously I know that the Cowie 450 team in America is different to MXGP, but when I talk, I'm trusting you, the listener, to kind of fill in that blank yourself. I'm not thinking that I have to over-explain everything. But naturally, the motorcycle has fundamentals in production form that are true across all disciplines. Same way that when Chase was on Honda, I messaged Honda riders around the world and sent them 2 of Chase's crashes and said, one of them was Seattle, if you remember, and I sent them the video and I said, can you make sense of how this happened? And a majority of them said, yes, for Honda does this under braking. And I was like, oh, good, okay. So it isn't just Chase, like everyone's saying. And they were like, no, like that, I can see exactly how that happened because I had the same thing happen to me last week where I went into a turn, So like, yes, I know they are different teams, and of course that is true. But there are fundamentals across everything that carry over. And like I say, I said to Brock in the interview, MXGP guys tell me this bike has a problem with turning. And he went, yes. So like, but also interesting is a team member at the weekend stopped me and said from their testing, in stock form, the Cowie 450 is arguably the best turning bike. And it's what you add to it that makes it bad at turning, which is really interesting.
I feel like this goes back to Weimer's discussion about wanting to test stock triple clamps and not being allowed to.
No,
but
you
I think
can't call
Chase
it. You
has been
can't,
allowed to,
no,
right?
You can't draw parallels between that. That's bad, Kellen.
I'm not trying to draw a parallel. I'm just saying
sin for you to just link Weimer to the current day.
Saying Chase has been allowed to try that, correct?
Well, yes, but you didn't. There's no allowed. He's allowed to try everything. Great guy. Great team.
Okay. Great guy. Great team.
Great Lewis
yes,
as well.
The ship will be back afloat soon enough, I'm sure.
I feel bad for him.
How much, if at all?
I feel bad for him because he's obviously on press day in Daytona because every 450 guy is.
Oh, everyone's going to talk.
Yeah, and like I don't know what to do because obviously we've not done an interview officially since A2, so I've got to talk to him, but I kind of don't want to because press day doesn't really fit our vibe, but I've got to because no one's spoken to him in so long. So I don't know what to do. I might text him and see if he wants to do one before press day where we can just be us.
It's been a while since he's on press, like you mentioned, so
yeah,
he's going to be in for quite a few in the next
I've got his press
month.
day schedule. Buddies, he's doing Daytona, Indy, not Birmingham, and then I forget what races are after that. But he's definitely doing Daytona and Indy.
Back to back. Cool. How much, if at all, is the current throw stuff at a wall and try to make it all work at Cowie going to maybe impact your Monday plans after Indy?
I don't know. I'd like to know, but these pro riders, things change. Like how he just randomly said to me, "Hey, we're doing it Monday now." So I need to get in. I need to get Cowie to order the graphics and everything. So I do need to get to work. But is it
okay? Do we want to go into post race banter right now or post show banter right now?
I think
off of this.
I mean, let's do this. 250 title favorite, Davies.
Yes.
Okay.
I was Team Hammaker until this opening round.
450 title favorite, still Eli.
Yes.
Okay, I'll go Chase. MXGP title favorite.
Coonan.
Okay, I'll go Jeffrey. Also, you should all watch Tommy Searle's new vlog where he spends the day with Jeffrey in Spain. And oh my God, if this won't make you realize why I like Jeffrey, nothing will. Because it's just Jeffrey at his best. Brilliant watching. I watched it all with a shit-eating grin on my face. It was absolutely amazing. Honestly, just like Tommy said to him at one point, I feel you're quite open today. I'm going to stop filming you because I don't want you to get in trouble. And Jeffrey went, no, my Honda contract's great. I can't get in trouble with this one. It's not like the KTM one. He's just great. It's honestly, what a man. Tommy and Jeffrey are like the greatest duo in motocross. I genuinely believe that. If I've said this, and I still want to do it, it's just hard logistically. If I can I want to do my dream podcast is Lewis, host, Tommy to the left, Jeffrey to the right. That, I think, would be phenomenal. But everyone lives in different countries, so...
It is cool, given their championship battles in the past, that they're able to just be buddy-buddy now and stuff like that, because that doesn't happen with everybody.
Yep.
It seems like they get on well.
So now we've covered everything. Brilliant. Good job.
Brilliant. Okay, so yes, let's go into our post-show banter. I would like all of the job swap updates that you have for us at this point in time. How was riding at Mesquite? Are we riding again before? Are we done? How's gym going?
So we've hit a spanner in the works.
Oh boy.
So I was going to ride this week. However, Cowie are there doing testing with Chase. So it's not really right for Lewis to go in there and make it all about him, is what my moral compass is telling me. So I decided to not pursue riding the 450 this week. Also, I don't want to. I didn't realize how many people are at Chambers.
Yeah, a lot, man.
Yeah, I'm not. So I'm good. I'm not going out there until it's empty. And I told Chase and Theo and Chase's dad, Keir, in Seattle, said, no one's allowed there. It's a film set in my mind, closed. The track has to be groomed.
That shit ain't happening. There's gonna be a lot of people there.
Well, it's a Monday. So
Track will be groomed, but there's gonna be a lot of people there.
Monday? They don't ride on Mondays.
I've been talking around, and there's gonna be people there.
Yeah, that's a shame. Not been to the gym in a week because I am that Pulp MX guy. Just terrible decisions last week. So his power went out in his house, and that somehow sucks for power from me because stayed an extra day. Rode, did the show, up at 5 a.m. the next morning for a flight, flew cross country for a day, then had 22 hours to do my laundry, turn around washing, take care of some personal stuff. So it was flat out for 22 hours, went back to the airport, flew halfway across the country, and I just ran out of time for stuff. And honestly, I'm still feeling the effects of it now. Like I feel fucked. I don't know because I don't really know how it works. I feel like a little bit of the Epstein is flaring inside of me.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know because it's unusual again. Like I'm back to 12 hours sleeping. So and I've not been doing that lately. So I think I've decided tomorrow I'm gonna give myself today to have a bit of a chill, and then tomorrow we're back on it at the gym. But I'm gonna have to look after myself because I don't want to be on the struggle bus. Mesquite was great, arguably the best day of riding I've ever had. It was unfair for me because Steve knows that track like the back of his hand. So he's immediately out there doing all the jumps, and I'm just like, and then he's on pulp telling everyone how much faster he is than me. And like, it's like, so that was sad. And yeah, everything's sad really. There's not much excitement, to be honest. I'm just kind of, I am Mike Tyson. I am the meme of Mike Tyson walking into wherever that was against Jake Paul.
Okay. Looking forward, as you said, we're back to the gym. Will we ride next week? Because it's not. I might
just forget it, to be honest.
What were you going to ride if you went this week?
My bike.
Oh, it's already there.
It was already there. It's been there since the off season. Cowie must have just sent Chase a stock 450 that he's never touched. So I've now claimed it as from here on out. It's my bike, including after job swap. Because Cowie can just send him another one, can't they?
Why don't you go pick it up and go somewhere else?
I did consider that. But I also don't want to. Look, there's a lot going on there at the moment. Hey, Chase, I'm going to swing by in the morning. Is that bike ready for me? I'm just going to swing by. It's just a bit much. I don't want to be a bit much.
Okay. Well then, so we're not riding. We rode twice. Now we're not going to.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe not going to ride all the way up until.
I'm resigned to the fact it's going to be a disaster.
But you need to last. You need to last the 30. If you pull off early, this is.
Mate, I don't know if I can do a 30-minute walk at the moment. Yeah, fuck me. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's tough out here.
Yeah, it is tough, but I would suggest trying to find a way to ride at least one more time.
I might text Chase tonight and see if I can go out to Chambers tomorrow and just hang out because we need to figure stuff out. Like, I presume he's arranged for his vlogger Jeff to be there, but I don't even know. I presume he has, but maybe not. He's got a lot going on, so I need to figure this all out. So I might text him tonight.
When is your all your gear and stuff arriving?
Well, this is the thing. It's been so non-committal that the whole sublimated thing's off now. So
Oh, it's off.
Yeah, 'cause
are we still getting a claw helmet?
No, because it's on.
Oh.
No, it's on me.
Oh.
It's on me, to be honest, because I do this because I'm nervous about it. I've not really I've not really gone aggressively pursuing it. You know, like I do that when I'm unsure about something. I kind of just homer into the bushes and let it all play out. So, and to be honest, like whatever, whatever.
Well, sad because honestly, I was excited to see the kit.
Yeah, well,
You
the
would've looked
sublimated won't
super
happen now. But
flashy.
you know what? Maybe I can see about the monster helmet. Sure, I can.
Are you the same helmet size as Chase? Maybe you could just steal one of his.
No. Chase has got quite a small head, I want to say. Chase must be a medium.
Wow, call him out.
No, compared to
I don't
me. I'd say he's a medium, wouldn't he be?
I don't know. I feel like his head's long. It's
yeah, that's what I was thinking
thin,
as well.
but long. Yeah.
Yeah, whereas I'm just round, and I'm rotund.
Oh man. Okay. More banter. Do we have more banter to go over? Should we talk about our lovely dinner that got paid for? I mean, I know everyone else has probably already heard this story, but that was great.
Yeah, thanks to the guy.
Yeah. Oh, his name is Mike?
No one knows.
I don't
He's
know.
the guy.
No,
I don't know if I've got much banter, to be honest. Like I say, I've just been on the road, didn't I? Flat out. I'm knackered. Underappreciated is what I am, Kellen. Underappreciated.
well, Journalist of the Year upcoming.
This Tickle interview, everyone should listen to it. I think you'll find it interesting. Yeah, no. It's meant to rain in Daytona.
Yeah, so I actually looked, and it's supposed to be done in the morning, but it is going to rain a lot.
Well, press
Friday
day's
night,
fucked,
allegedly.
I think, right?
Yeah, we might not see any riding on press day.
Well, in which case, I don't think we'll do interviews either. So,
no, they will. There's no way.
Well, no,
there's
that's-
too much fanfare behind it all. They do the trophy unveiling thing or whatever that every year. I feel like Daytona, more so than Feld, no disrespect to our friends at Feld, Daytona is going to find a way to still make press day kind of interesting if it's raining.
yeah, that's great. So they don't have control over the teams. So,
Nah, but I think that the teams will kind of be like, yeah, all right, we're all here anyway.
and that's the thing, though. I don't think the riders will be there because if they know press isn't happening, they're just going to stay in their own beds for an extra day and eat at home for an extra day and do all of that, aren't they? Use their own gym for an extra day, you know? Like, that'll be their initial move.
I'm holding out hope at least. I feel like Daytona also, I don't know if you keep getting these emails, but we're getting invited to like 100 parties on Friday night, and I'm like, who's going to all these?
Yeah, no one does.
Yeah.
I did have something to say, but I've forgotten it. So I reckon we wrap this up.
All right, well, this has been bantering with Lou and Kel. Post-show banter.
Yeah, go listen to a Tickle interview.
Yeah, well, you've said that 3 times
Yeah.
now, so I think people
I'm
will
curious
will
what people
dial
think
in.
of it.
Do you have another big interview coming up anytime soon? Because I feel like you've been on a roll lately.
Yeah, I was thinking about who I could do next. I might continue the Cowie trend. Or I was thinking...
Jeffrey, preseason?
I was thinking... I don't want to... I think... I don't know.
If job swap happens, by the way, for those that don't listen to the Vital MXGP show, it sounds like you guys might have Sexton Vial Wheeler.
Yes.
That would be a pretty good show.
Obviously, Chase wants Tom involved, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Vial, did he win the thing in France this weekend?
Yeah.
Over Koonin, right?
Yeah, but Koonin crashed.
Wow. Still a dub. First dub on a 450 for Vial.
Yeah, big deal.
It's big news. You seem well over MXGP coming up.
No. I need toilet, to be honest with you. So,
okay. All right, let's wrap this up. All right. Again, thanks everyone for tuning into the Leatt LVK More Than Moto podcast. Big thanks to Partzilla, Alpinestars, and of course Leatt for backing the show every single week. We'll be back after Daytona to recap all the festivities that go on there and whether or not we have any more championship drama to speak about. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.